Hi, it's Galfi and Galfette. Today I'm going to show you the automation. It's a process that allows you to automate a lot of things. For example, lowering or raising the volume at a specific point in your project, activating an effect at another point, etc. I'll show you all this after the intro. Feel free to add a like to this video. You can also subscribe to our channel and activate the bell, it's always encouraging for us. Automation is displayed by clicking on the little arrow you see when you hover your mouse over the bottom left-hand corner of a track's command block. By default, there is only one automation track, and it's about volume. You can use the pencil tool to draw an automation curve. You'll notice that the R button is now displayed in green. When this button is activated, it will read the curve you have drawn during playback. If you deactivate this button, the automation track is ignored during playback. Instead of the pencil, you can also use the line tool here, it offers different types of curves. I'll tell you more about it in a future video. You can also choose to act on something else than volume, by clicking on volume here to access the other options. Of course, you're not limited to a single automation track. I've added an EQ to this track. I'll activate automation writing with this W button, which turns red when active. I'll start playback and modify the EQ settings as I go along. You'll see that each time I activate a setting, a new automation track is added below the others. Each curve has points that correspond to the changes, and these points can be edited manually. You'll also see there's a round dot between two squares, this allows you to modify the curve to make it smoother. You can, of course, add or delete points, delete them with the eraser or by selecting them and pressing the Del key on your keyboard. Add them with the pencil tool. To move your points with precision, you can select Use Quantize in the grid type and set the quantize here. If you'd like to know more about the grid and quantize, there's also a video on the subject. I'll put the link in the description, as usual. You can copy your curves, or parts of them, either to the same tracks, or to different tracks. Here, I select this part of my curve. I click on Ctrl+C to copy. I then select the two tracks, position the cursor where I want to paste the curves and hit Ctrl+V. If I select different tracks, I can copy an automation curve to another track. When you select several automation points, you have access to the automation editor, which lets you move the automation curve or modify it globally using these parameters. If you click outside the selection rectangle, you have access to another editor, which lets you act on portions of the curve using this little diamond here. Once you've finished writing or editing your curves, you can lock the automation with the lock button. You can also activate automation writing and playback for all tracks at the top of the toolbar. The A button is used to suspend automation, temporarily disabling reading and writing of automation. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions. I wish you a good weekend. See you next week.